Well, hello, friends. This here's David Vose. Today's April the 19th, 2016. It's good to see everybody today. Friends, I have a question for you. Do you ever feel as though you are in prison? As though you are behind bars? That you are limited in everything you do? Does this feeling of being limited, does it affect your awareness, all of your experiences, your personal growth? The prison bars, these limitations, where did they come from? The question is, can we prevent these prison bars and get out of this? Can we reach our full potential in life? Mental, emotional blocks keep us locked up, and all the things that we do and want and love are suppressed. We don't have any ability to achieve our higher goals. We're self-limiting, and our attitude is keeping us from our capabilities. We are free agents. We have the ability to do anything we want, friends. Our goals can be met, and we can maximize the goals that we have. But we cannot allow this self-limiting perception to continue on in our life, and we've got to bring it to an end today. All of you, the listeners out there, need to wake up now, because you have lived your entire life as though you had no potential at all. As though you were simply carrying out the desires and the will of those who rule over you. But we need to become more self-motivated. Without self-motivation, you might as well be in prison, and you're a prisoner to society. You're ordered around at work. You don't mind. You know, if you're a good little slave, you might get a little bit of a raise. Maybe next year you'll get a quarter an hour more. See, maybe you'll get an extra couple days on your vacation time. Friends, you go in and you punch a clock and you spend your entire life working for the man. You need to think of ways that you can take your vitality back, your life back. Your ideas and your dreams could very easily become realities if you have the right amount of self-motivation. See, a lot of what you want is in your power, and you can attain it. But right now you're working for them. You need to work for yourself. So don't just write off this plan in this dream that you have. You see, or do you have a dream? Is it so bad with you that you've never sat down and even had a dream? But see, you do need to come up with a dream. You need to come up with an elaborate plan so that you can escape from this prison that you're in. Because your cell door was never locked. See, they just tricked you. They just lied to you. They deceived you. They told you you can't do nothing about this. You've got to work for the man, and you've got to do everything we say. But we're just passive bystanders. See, we're failing to take action for ourselves. Have you ever seen this bystander phenomenon, where people just watch someone else get hurt or robbed or killed, and they don't do anything because they're just bystanders? And it's not their responsibility. Or maybe they're afraid. But you're a bystander to your own life. You see yourself being hurt. You see yourself suffering every day. Right? And you do nothing. You assume that somehow, some way, someday, you're going to miraculously come out of this suffering. You don't need to do any activity or any, real intervention here, because either you're afraid or you have apathy. It certainly can't be that you cannot or don't care. Certainly you do care about yourself. I mean, you care about that man on the street that's being robbed, but you're afraid to help him. You're just a bystander. You feel helpless. You can't do anything. You might get hurt in the process. See, if you quit your job, you might lose everything. You might lose your house. If you try to do something for yourself, you might fail. So you see that when you're not getting anywhere, we don't get up and we don't do something about it. Okay? When we're unhappy about something, we think we can just, get rid of the situation and just let it ride, and it'll resolve itself, right? Instead of being a bystander, we need to do something in our own life, and we need to start doing something now, friends. Or else, as time ticks away, tick-tock, 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 you're going to be dead and in a tomb. We've got to unlock our potential. You have hidden talents, but you haven't even discovered those talents because you've never even thought about it. You can reach your full potential if you want to. Now, this is something that a lot of you are going to go right back into this bystanding thing. You're going to watch this video and it's going to kind of inspire you. And then you're going to say, yes, but really, what's the point? I'm still a slave. There's no way out of this. But it would be a sad state of affairs if you woke up in the morning and you realized that you had spent 20, 30 years wandering around aimlessly in circles, not knowing what your purpose was, or if you had any gifts or any potential of any kind. What kind of a life is that? You cannot afford to go through the rest of your life this way. You've got to stop, clear your mind, and focus. I know we all feel trapped at times, like we're in a state of limbo. But we're going to get our life back now, friends. As soon as you discover that you have gifts, you won't feel trapped any longer. As soon as you realize that you're the one in charge of your own life and you're going to start doing something about it, you're going to improve things. Perhaps your instinct tells you that you're meant for bigger and better things. But see, when the opportunity comes, you just hesitate because, you don't want to get outside of your comfort zone. The most amazing things happen outside of your comfort zone, friends. If you sat around all day in your house because you enjoyed the comfort of your couch and your television and you had lots of wonderful food in the refrigerator, and that was, what more do you need, right? You can lay around and just enjoy this life and this comfort, and maybe it's the perfect temperature inside the house, and you don't have to go out, you have to do anything. Here's the thing. It doesn't take very long and you get bored. This isn't what you were meant to do. These things are only glitter. It's all an illusion. What you really want is life. You want to live. And this isn't living. So you need to go outside. You might get sunburned. You might get stung by a bee. You might, if you drive your car somewhere, it might break down. If you go and you move somewhere else, you might not find the friends that you have in this town, or you won't find the comforts that you're leaving behind. But guess what? You're going to see something that you've never seen before. You're going to experience something that you've never experienced before. You're going to learn stuff from this. See, go to a large mountain and climb it. Stop sitting around in your little couch and watching Fox News and being brainwashed with all this propaganda, and get out there and find a mountain and climb it. Now, why? Why would you want to climb that mountain? You say, well, I've got nothing to do. I'm just going to sit here in my living room and do nothing, because there's really nothing to do. Oh, I couldn't climb a mountain. That's something. That's amazing. That's something people who are amazing, they do stuff like that. But not me. I'm not amazing. I've seen it from in movies. I don't need to actually go there in real life, right? I don't need to go to Africa and see the lions and the tigers and the bears and nature. I don't need to go to a glacier national park and see the glaciers and the rivers and the trails and hike up these craggy mountains. And I don't need to go to someplace like, say, Yellowstone National Park and experience the sheer beauty of the natural surroundings. Do you know that the highest mountain in the continental United States is Mount Whitney in California, and the second highest is Mount Elbert in Colorado? It's really, really, really easy to drive to Colorado, get out of your car, put your little backpack, make sure you have some water, perhaps a granola bar or two, and make that climb up to the top. And when you get to that top, it's difficult. If you want to stand there at the bottom and say, oh man, this is going to be too hard, I don't want to climb this, it's a long walk, you're not going to need ropes or scaffolding. You're just going to walk up this trail. It's not that hard. But if you sit there and hesitate, and there's one thing that's never going to happen. You're never going to get to the top. You're never going to see all the broad, beautiful expanse of the valley below. You're not going to be able to breathe that beautiful, crisp, sweet, clean air. And you're not going to have that experience. And that's only one experience that you've never done because you don't have the cojones to live. You say, well, I can't, be anything or anybody. I'm nobody. You don't need to be somebody, except you can be yourself. You don't want to go to the top of this mountain as Jack Benny. Who cares? He died. He wasn't anybody either. And you're nobody either. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be somebody except yourself. The only person you need to be is you, and you need to live your life. And your life, sitting in the couch, watching television, filling yourself full of propaganda and depression and insanity, is not the life that you're going to be happiest with. I guarantee it. Now, we've just talked about one thing. You sat there on the couch and you said, man, I can't do anything or be anything, and there's no point in trying. And yet I know that you could save up enough money for the gasoline to go to Colorado and climb Mount Elbert. I know that that would improve your life. It would give you more exercise. It would improve your physique, your health, and your mind. And friends, there's a lot more than that you could do. In fact, there's probably a little trail or a place you could go right near where you live at this time. Have you ever got in a little raft and just floated down the river? Have you ever experienced the water on your feet? The cool, crisp, beautiful water of a mountain river? Have you ever experienced floating down the river and seeing the trout and the big fish just floating right by you? Have you seen beaver? Have you floated down a river and come into this little pool where there was a dam and the beaver were making a beaver dam? Friends, have you ever gone to the ocean and looked for abalone shells? These are all things you could do. If you live in California, you can do this right now. You've got mountains, you've got beaches. If you live in Texas, you've got a beach. You've got the hills to travel and explore. If you live in New Mexico or Arizona, you can go and look at the old ruins of the Indians and take pictures and investigate. There are beautiful rocks to be found. You can take up, a hobby of finding rocks. Get you a rock polisher and begin to polish and make jewelry. Or you could go to another country and experience their cuisine and take a ride on a boat. Have you ever been on a boat ride? Have you ever been skiing? It doesn't take a lot to be somebody. You're already somebody, but you're letting yourself waste away in your little prison. And life isn't about, I want to become a millionaire. Life is about, I want to become a millionaire in reference to experience, to life. You need to go out and live life and enjoy it. When you were a child, you didn't care how much money you had. You got in the inner tube, you went down that hill on that sled, right? Or you got your ice skates on, you went down the street with your friends, or you got on your bike, and the entire little neighborhood where you lived was your oyster. You knew all the ins and outs of the back streets. Your friends and you would just, you didn't even really need to do anything in reality. You could just pretend you were doing it and you were having fun. You see, you've gotten to the point where you can't even pretend because, you see, you're too depressed sitting in your house on your couch and being bored. And perhaps you've gotten to the point where you're on medications now. You can no longer even live. If you think that getting up and walking and running and getting your body in total perfect shape wouldn't change your entire life. Let's do this right now. Let's put down the soda and make a pledge that we're not going to drink sodas anymore. We're not going to eat chips anymore. We're going to start eating whole wheat. We're not going to eat white pasta, only whole wheat foods. And we're going to eat whole foods all the time. We're going to cut back on sugars and candies. And we're going to get out and we're going to go every morning and watch that sun rise. Or we're going to watch the sun go down every night. And we're going to run and we're going to play and we're going to get our bodies into shape. We're going to feel better. And then what are we going to do with that body? We're going to be happier. We're going to have more confidence in ourselves. You'll be able to get a better looking date. You'll be able to do things you've never dreamed in your life you could ever do. All because you finally got off your couch, got outside, and climbed that mountain, and put down the soda, and believed not in being a millionaire, but believed in happiness, believed in what is real in this world. You don't need a lot of fancy things to be happy. You just need your heart back. You just need your confidence back. You need your health back. And you need to start doing stuff that makes you happy. Do you like animals? Then get you some animals and take them out and take them walking every day and spend time with them. If you like bird watching, get you a camera. You can get a really good camera for $100 or even up to about $500. You can get an excellent camera. And you can take that camera out there and you can take the most amazing pictures. There are many things that you're missing, friends. Life's got so much going on out there, but you don't even know that it's going on. Because we're always just on autopilot anymore. And we need to seize the day, as they say. And then suddenly your life will be something completely different. You can change who you are. If you're not what you want to be, you need to start changing and start reaching forward. You can't do it all in one day, but you can start planning it now and doing it tomorrow. But start planning your escape today, friends. That prison is coming down. So that's all I got to say, friends. This here's David Boson. I hope you guys have a great week. See you again tomorrow.